This is Viz Buzz. Missing cool music. Okay, yeah. Added in post, yeah. Tony, you heard the people. Viz Buzz. How's the stream quality? Oh god, I'm getting destroyed. I wasn't lying about being on hotel internet. The rules are 3 contestants. One match is 30 minutes in length. They will get delivered a data visualization.
You've got mail.
And they will have the data that made that data viz. Replicate the data viz as close to what it was as possible. At the end of the 30 minutes, I will rank everyone 1 through 3. Chat will vote for their favorites. The image accuracy will also rank out everyone. We will be bringing in the contestants right now, y'all. Our contestants just got the data. This data viz is what they get to try to recreate tonight. Good luck, y'all. You have 30 minutes starting. Oh god. Now, this is a spiral plot. They have all the data that recreates this, including this particular image. Each of these, it's time, and time is circular, represented circular here. And for each sort of layer of the circle, you have how many fouls they were given. Let's go over to D-Rob. Okay, there he goes. He has the data. He's downloading it. He's loaded this data viz into his environment. You can start with just line plots, but trying to get the spiral in there, it's gonna be difficult. So looks like D-Rob's gonna take an approach of maybe doing a scatter plot and trying to spiral that around. And this is sort of the fun part of it, y'all. Who knows how they're all gonna try to replicate this. So let's go over to our new contestant, Soul Plots here. Peter from Soul Plots, he has also loaded in the data. Let's see where he starts here. Remember, a way I would approach this would probably be trying to do a circle plot. Each ring would be a foul, so I would treat each ring as sort of a categorical feature in this case. I wouldn't be bringing that data in as a numerical feature. He has the data plotted in terms of scatters. He's also plotting against minutes, so we'll see if he could actually end up doing some sort of circle plot here. Let's go over to Tim's plot here. Let's see, Tim is doing this in Python, and it looks like is he trying to do this with line plots? Okay, he's going with some markdown lol. It does look like he is trying to figure out how to do spirals in matplotlib. There is a package for this, I believe, and we will see if he ends up trying to find that. But let's go check in again on D-Rob. D-Rob is plotting his first spiral. He has isolated what looks to be one player, and his one player here has he has the spiral, and he's turned it into a solid line. He has moved away from the scatter. He has turned this into a line element. He does have some interesting behavior going on with this particular player. Wonder how he's gonna smooth this one out, but he is on the way to at least getting to the accuracy side of this, being able to create a circle plot. We'll see if he gets to the point of actually adding in the elements of fouls. Peter is now jumping into the ggplot environment, looking like he's messing around with some aesthetics. We'll see what comes out of here once he ends up jabbing all that code out. 21 minutes left. We are 8 minutes in to our first match of Viz Buzz, and D-Rob here already has all those different players plotted, and it looks like it's coming out pretty well. It's pretty accurate to what the original data viz is. So it looks like D-Rob's trying to figure out how Tony got it into quadrants for his lines. It looks like his mouse cursor is indicating that it is not aligned perfectly. He does have the different hues correctly, it seems. There might be some layering issues, so you can see that the red that he has here, that overlay is, I believe, under, right? So if we look at the data viz, purple in the most inner circle, that is the lowest layer. So if you think about these things in terms of like levels or layers, the bottom layer gets plotted first and you have layers on top. So for D-Rob, I believe the order of his hues will be important if he wants that full accuracy. Tim Keller here, he has plotted, he has what looks like time played as X and number of fouls as Y. So this is a good first start. So when you have this kind of data, XY data, it makes sense to plot it as XY data. And your most simple plots here are going to be line plots or scatter plots. It looks like he has line plots and scatters. Oh, look at this. He has a circle now. This is we're getting there. He's put this into a circle form. Claps in chat, pogs in chat for Tim. Oh, here we go. Here we are. Tim looking at a polar plot from Matplotlib. This is exactly what we want to see. This is exciting. Very exciting. Looks like Soulplot does have his line plots going. He does have y-axis as time, x-axis as fouls. He is plotting by year. You know those like fun street artists who like draw something upside down and then like, you know, punch it and then like all this paint flies off and now it's like a perfect picture of the Mona Lisa. Maybe it's that. Maybe he's setting us up like, okay, like you had me in the first half, but you know, second half, whatever that meme is. Memes, y'all. Here we are with D-Rob. This is a shot over to person in chat who invented this data viz. It's me, Tony. That's Tony L. Haber. His comment says, return to the text, not sure why some show and some don't, related to presenting information in a striking way, trying to maybe lead the eyes to your point of view. In this case, this particular football player, Cancelo, it was someone he wanted to really highlight, perhaps in the context of all these other players. 10 minutes to go here. Total, he does have XY, and it is in line plot form. Yes, so this is kernel density. He thought that perhaps that is how we are getting the circles here, but it is not. Kernel density will give you, in this case, a bimodal distribution for what it seems, but on top of that, it will definitely not give you a circular image. So let's go over to Tim Keller. How far did Tim get? He's trying to figure out those layers. He's probably, now what he's probably doing, because with 8 minutes left, since he can't get that y-axis to plot exactly how he wanted to from the data, he might aesthetically try to move that data to force it to look like the correct plot, ultimately just trying to like fit a Bezier curve or something. And he'll be eyeballing it, perhaps. D-Rob's getting pretty close. Look at this. He has the labels here. So D-Rob is probably foregoing all these other aspects that would probably get him higher points in terms of the image accuracy, but it might not necessarily get him higher points in terms of my judging versus your judging, chat. Who do you think is doing the best, right? Tim Keller, who's really trying to figure out how to get from this version of scatters to lines. Remember, he had the lines available. It just seems to be kind of backfiring on him with all the different types of functions he's using in this case. So you could see that Tim is now going towards the text aesthetics, all these different labels, all these different aesthetic features of the graph that might get him some points because he's trying to replicate this data viz, one for one, right? Where do you fall in this case, chat? When you're trying to replicate something like this, at what point in time do you start replicating these elements that aren't necessarily data related, but more aesthetically related that enhance the image? And we have soul plots with this line. He is making some comments here. Not really sure. It looks like maybe he's feeling a little defeated by this plot. I'm unsure. He threw in KDE there. He had different line plots. Let's give some love to soul plots here. D-Rob's getting close. He is now replicating some of the text elements. 3 minutes to go. He feels like perhaps maybe the text elements, the image overlay, and maybe, just maybe, if he could recreate that legend in the bottom left corner. I don't know why he's looking for the image. D-Rob has the asset. There absolutely is an image of Cancelo in the assets folder. It is right here. It looks like Tim Keller does have this coordinate plot with all the labels. He just doesn't have the right data. He's running into an error right now. This is missing XY position. This is for the annotate. He's using matplotlib annotate, so he needs to have a location for this. Remember, annotate and plt.text, they need an XY. He is referencing some old data viz that he did, That is smart, digging into the depths of his own project, seeing how he did it before. Perhaps it's going to resonate shake up some of that memory stored somewhere in the brain. Who knows where it's stored? No one. Neuroscientists in chat got it. They have 30 seconds left. This is Peter's screen, less than 15 seconds to go. R no longer seems to work while I'm under pressure. Oh, sad. Tim has 4 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. That's our first. And not the last one of tonight. That is it, y'all. How about you, chat? Who do you think is in the lead right now? 2 more seconds left to vote here. And it looks like that's 10 points to D-Rob, 6 points to Tim. Soul Plots with 2. This is actually the same as mine. That's 20 points D-Rob. Tim with 12. So that goes to D-Rob. D-Rob, the winner of our first Viz Buzz tonight, y'all. Congrats. Claps in chat. For all the contestants to match 1, y'all, claps in chat. D-Rob will be getting a $20 Amazon gift card for me. So I'll reach out to you, D-Rob. Where's the AI scoring? Yeah, we didn't get to go down that far because we didn't need to, but for fun, let's just do it. Let's take D-Rob's and see. These images are 22.98% accurate. There we are, 22.98%. Well, luckily, chat and me voted you 1 overall. I think you're doing okay, D-Rob. Appreciate you being here. All right, we're gonna bring in the next group of people. So they're currently taking a look at the data viz, loading in the data. That data viz looks like this. This is the data viz that they're gonna have to recreate. This is a map of the US, and this is from 538, so this should be a little more in the realm of being able to reproduce a lot of the elements because of the 538 themes that are available. So they should have all the data if I haven't done something completely idiotic, and they are gonna get going. 1 second. Okay, and we are off. Oh my god, it's another one. We're taking a look at Tony's screen here. You can see Tony is trying to chomp away here at some images. He already has the memes going. Remember, Tony, most famous in Slice for innovating the meme meta. Let's take a look at Jenna Jordan. Jenna has the image up. She is taking a look at the data. She is inspecting this. She is doing this in Python. Me, as a Python person, I do feel a little rooting interest. But remember, at the end of the day, I'm an impartial judge, okay? I have no favorites here. My duty is to see who has been able to reproduce to the best of their ability this data viz. Let's take a look at Tanho. So Tan is taking a look at the data. Remember, this was a data set that was pretty difficult for us to, when we first got this data set, it was actually fairly difficult for us to clean because the data was in survey form. And here's Tony with his first attempt at a map of the United States, and okay, it is rendering correctly now. Oh, here I'm the one who vizzes. Let's take a look at Jenna. First, I honestly thought that was a lobster, but it's not. It's just a map. Taking a look at GeoPandas here. Unsure how familiar GeoPandas is to Jenna, but whether she Googled for continental US states, plots, Python, or just knew GeoPandas off the top of her head. 5 minutes have passed. Let's see what she's gonna do with the next 25. Okay, here's Tony Alhaber. He has plotted a gray states, so this most likely is gonna be how he starts that look of southern states. Remember, they are in a lighter gray, that white background in the back. And you have these, is this Mercator lines going through the behind, which really have no purpose other than aesthetics. Thank you, 538, for including more of that. And we do see Tony plotting that. You do see some of those lines. Here's Tan. He has loaded in the data into a pivot. He's grouped by, he's summarized. He's getting his data in an aggregate form before he starts moving over into a plotting library, but perhaps he is already there. Looks like he's already going with a state region aesthetic or some sort of state region. What do they call it? FIPS. He did Google, I don't know if that was the Google term, but I did see something that said easy US maps in R. If that is what he Googled, that's pretty awesome. I hope it is as easy as that. Let's go over to Tony Alhaber. What is this? He froze. My guy hasn't moved for 40 minutes. It's him, Tony.
It's terrible.
Yes, Tan.
state name, state abbreviation. So I have a character vector of state names.
Mm-hmm. Okay. They accidentally unmuted. I was about to roll with it, by the way. Take a look over here at Jenna Jordan. Jenna's going through the pandas.
Does that work? Yes.
Oh,
No.
Here we
Fuck.
go. Here we
hell?
are. Okay, how's it? Okay, he is.
Uh,
I am enjoying some random tan in this call. You know, this is so random.
better. Okay,
So
I
much
have
better.
state abbreviation.
Tell me more. It's just let's go into Jenna's screen. She's loading her data. And she, you know, one of the things Jenna streams is cleaning up data, tidying up data through SQL. She does a lot of SQL for data scientist streams. Lots of different calls and functions I actually have never used before. Let's see how far that gets her in terms of being able to cut through all that data, aggregate it down, and ultimately plot it onto a US plot. Did you know that some people consider Pennsylvania as a state that is part of the South? And here we are with Tony's first plot. He does get Texas plotted in there. Remember, specifically, the text actually gives a lot of how to make the aggregation here. This is percentage classifying each state as part of the South, people identifying with some or a lot as a Southerner. So they actually do have that data as a column in the data set. So one of the tasks here would be to make sure you're conditionally filtering only those two particular labels. Right here, this legend, he has 4 labels here, and really you're only looking for 2, and those 2 should really be aggregated together. A little hiccup here from Tony Alhambra. Let's go over to Tan, trying to plot this US map with a function called plot US map. But unfortunately, it's plotting nothing. It's plotting an image of the states of Antarctica. I'm so good at regional jokes. Here we are with Jenna Jordan. Jenna has taken her data. She has filtered down her data into a lot and some. So that is part of the data viz, and she's bringing that up here just before I was about to. She is now identifying on her side what she needs to replicate here, using some of the information from that graph to really help guide the aggregation. It's not just about identifying the type of graph and trying to get to that point first and then filtering out. Setting herself up for success. I believe a famous president, Abraham Lincoln, once said, if I had 8 hours, I'd spend 6 sharpening my axe. But if I don't remember the rest of the quote. Anyone in chat, can you help me with that one? Tan with a US map here, and it is in some sort of, I wish he scrolls down just a little. He does have the subtitle in the title. Which states do you consider part of the South? And he is already typing up precisely what's in this graph right here. Look at that, y'all. We have Tan getting pretty close to it now. Not too far behind, y'all. Here we are with Tony Alhambra. Tony with the 538 theme already. He has the Reds color palette. Remember, in a notebook of mine, a very infamous notebook of mine, I also use the Reds color palette. Did you know? In Seaborn, you can reverse a color palette with whatever color palette name _R. So if you wanted red to white or white to red, both of those are easy to get. And here we are with Tony being able to get to that lighter gray. Wonder if he did an eyedrop tool, or maybe he just knows off the top of his head. Jenna taking a look at the data, aggregated down. She has the value counts. She sees that she is getting perhaps the amount of respondents as stated in the data viz. So now that she has all the data, she is now probably just gonna try to divide through here. This is a sum divide, and then that will get her percentages. Those percentages ultimately will lead her to those values that we see in the original graph here. This right here. These are all percentages from 0 to 100. So we'll see if she get there. She is sharpening her axe here before cutting down the tree. Tan is taking a color picker. He's using an eyedrop tool, a color picking tool, to make sure he's getting the different shades here. So he doesn't just want to use a Reds color palette. He wants to make sure he's setting his max and min scale to certain colors, and he'll gradient across that, it seems. So he is trying to get all the aesthetic, all the elements on the graph first, and then he'll modify them probably at the end. The end coming in less than 12 minutes, 11:53 remaining. Let's go over to Jenna Jordan. Jenna taking a look more at pandas. Remember, she's ultimately wanting to get this into a form that she shoves through geopandas, most likely. Tony does have those background Mercator lines, just like in the original plot. Remember, it's not just this plot, but look at behind the continental US, you have these lines really just to fill empty space, but those lines are there, and they do count as aesthetic, right? So Tony is trying to nail that aesthetic as close as possible. Tan was trying to put everything on the paper before he starts moving and shaping. Really think about it like an artist who works with clay. You start with all the clay you have, and then you start molding it into the shape you want it, and then you start cutting it down, smoothing around the edges. Tan is a sculptor of DataViz, and we are seeing that sculptor practicing his artistry right here. Remember, DataViz is a interesting mix of data communication, which involves how do we communicate data in the most effective or striking way. That does have to have some sort of eye of creativity, or something that is going to make people feel compelled to investigate the data visualization and lead to the conclusions that you're trying to ultimately draw as a data storyteller. Jenna Jordan, who looks like she's now putting it all together onto a map. She has gone down. I was freaking out there for a second. I thought she might have been doing it at the county level, which she would have been doing a little overkill there if it was at the county level. She is doing it through, it looks like, Plotly. Tony L. Haber here. No more memes at this late of the game. 6.5 to go. It's all business from here on out. Jenna does have a plot of the United States. It looks like it's coming here. Location mode United States. All she needs to do now is figure out how to get it to the 48 states that we're looking for, because this is a map of the 48 states, not of the entire world here. Frantically coding, frantically looking for the call she needs to make here. But she is really close. I do wonder if she's gonna pull through in the next less than 4 minutes to go. Cheer them on, chat. Jenna is getting there. Look at this, y'all. Slow and steady. Could it win the race? Tony L. Haber is trying to get all those elements on the page. He does have a lot of colors, but the color palette is a little more sepia tone. Remember, we're looking for a little deeper red here. And it might come down to it, chat, that the image accuracy is going to be able to tell us who's really going to take home the prize. It's pretty tight throughout. Everyone has a continental US map. Tan Ho trying to figure out different coloring aspects. He does have the colors down, but does he have all the labels correct? Does he have all the outlines of the states correct? We do have 13 seconds left. Oh my god! It is going by so quickly. She's trying to figure out the right way to call something. What is it she's trying to call? Is it the legend? She's trying to get the legend horizontal and not vertical, but does she know she has no more time left? It is pencils down. 30 minutes is so fast. That's gonna be pretty tough, chat. Incredible. Okay, chat, who did you think did the best? Remember, the voting is chat. The ranks go 10 points, 6 points, 2 points, 10. Getting 10 points, 6 points to Tony, 2 points to Jenna. I had this a little flipped, y'all. I had Tony 10, 6 points to 10, 2 to Jenna. This does come down to compare two images. Okay, let's do this. Let's see. Accuracy. What the hell is this, Blue Digital? Did we just get paywalled? Can I have just the image? Percentage? Difference? There's no percentage. There's no fucking percentage. Here we go. This works. We have for Tan 16%. Okay, let me write that down. 16% for tan. 0.14 for tan. Let's do it again. Let's take a look. 29.05. Let us just do Jenna's here. 9. Okay. So that is Tony with 21 points. Tan, 19 points. Jenna with 5 points. Thank you, y'all. That was pretty incredible. Claps in chat, y'all, for Jenna, Tan, and Tony. Let's go to our final contestants, y'all. This is the data viz that they'll be working with, and we're going. Okay, we're underway, chat. This is what we call a bump plot. Okay, a bump plot. So from the beginning of the Olympics all the way to the end of the Olympics, this is 2018 Olympics. This is over the course of time, who ends up having the most medals throughout the time here. You can see Isomore here trying to load in all that data. He will be working in R tonight. Let's go see our friend Marshall. Nice, look at this. Actual memes, me replicating that in GG, dude. This is a shout out to Marshall's, I believe, our friend Tony Alhaba right there. Little meme throwdown. He's also loading in the data. Let's take a look at Parker's screen also in R here. This is hardcore. Like, yeah, I'm always afraid of the people who are like background 100% black, as slate gray as possible for all the other themes. I feel like I'm truly in like a hacker man's world right now, but here we are. Load the data in. Font size is something to be wanted, but at the very least, this isn't about fonts or readability right now, y'all. Okay, here we go. See, when you're a caster like me, sometimes passive aggression is truly your best friend. Let's go back over to Isomore. Still taking a look at the data frame and is looking like he might try to aggregate in the beginning and then end up going down the road of placing that onto the graph. So we'll see if that ends up coming through. I have unfortunately made this screen so large that we actually can't even see to the left, but I promise you there's code there. You just have to believe me. We'll fix that in post. We'll fix that in post. Looks like he is trying to get this into a bump plot, cutting through, aggregating over, and then shoving that data frame through a GG plot. Parker's screen here. It looks like we are getting to a plot, and this is our first plot of the night, y'all. Our first plot for the first bump plot of the night, and it looks like what does this remind me of? A wild like DNA strand. We do see a line plot here from Marshall. Let's see what we have over here from Isomore. Isomore also looking like a line plot. He has plotted all the different countries through that default GG plot color palette. You can see down there on the bottom right is where his plotting palette is. He actually has it. This is like a good looking bump chart. It actually kind of looks almost like a strange abstract Tetris here from Isomore's screen. Okay, let's go over to Marshall, who's looking, don't be confused here. Oh, and look at this. He also has a bump chart, but remember he has these bump aesthetics. So if you're using the GG bump package, you're gonna get a little more curve to your bump plots, which again, aesthetically is pleasing, but the original image that they're trying to replicate here does not have any of these like rounded edges as you go from one level to another. They truly are more line plots on categorical features as your y-axis. So we'll see how they work to kind of unsmooth that. Isomore does have sort of a line plot here. He still is using GeoBump to do this, but he's taken out some of that the smooth. His ggplot code actually has smooth equals 1. So he's taking out all of that rounded edge. It's trying to be as jagged as possible. Parker, Stats War here. He is still working with these bump chart. He does have 1 through 10. You can see that it starts off the graph, off the page here, and that's not a bug. That definitely is a feature. There's a lot of teams that start off the page and then end up getting into the picture at the second round. So you could see the United States ends up being off the page on day 1, but day 2 ends up having the 4th most medals. Over here at Marshall's screen, Marshall is trying to get pretty accurate now. He's noticing some details in the plot that are going to be fairly nuanced. One of those nuances is, and it's pretty difficult to see, but there actually are grid lines in this plot. Very light grid lines, and it looks like Marshall is actually going to try to keep that element and try to get that gray either alpha to the right place for the gray or to the actual hue. It looks like Isomore actually has the right order now. Look at this. That's pretty close, right? This is really close to the order. We might be going to the very, very end here. Marshall's still trying to get on those elements. He is on the grayscale now. He's just trying to figure out whether he's going to probably label each of those teams, like hard code that, or is he going to do something that allows him to do it in a different way? Maybe he's going to do a descending order rank sort and then use that as a hue or categorical variable. How is he going to get those teams at the very end to end up sorting this way? Statsawar, who seems like he was up ahead for a bit, but now people are catching up, and he is still on the plotting all these different elements, but he hasn't squeezed that axis down. Maybe he's not ready to do that yet. Maybe he wants to do that at the very end, but there are other elements that we still haven't seen from any of the contestants, and maybe some of this is the make or break point. These different flags in here, the different text annotation and titling here. Maybe you're trying to match fonts, maybe you're trying to match hue, maybe you're trying to match alpha, maybe you're trying to match size of the flags. These are all things that we haven't really seen from anyone yet, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see if we end up seeing any of that from anyone, which we do see here. We have a title here from Marshall, which is very reminiscent of that title that we had from the original image. So we'll see if that ends up being a make or break for him. He does have to despine his graph, take out those the top, bottom, and left and right bounds, despine that graph, and actually we might have an attempt at placing flags here from Isomore. Isomore is actually, no, this might be ordering. He might actually be forcing the order at the very end. So rather than doing some sort of like descending count and then freezing that, he's going to try to do it hard-coded, that way it's 100% accurate. When it comes to data viz, you know that the data is going to be right. You know that you're going to only produce this plot in one way. Sometimes you just like to freeze certain data. That way it's going to replicate in that way every single time. Marshall, still with the colors, yet he has the labels of the starting countries, but we don't have the labels at the end. We do have the graph no longer has the bounds. We're not in a box anymore. We have D-spiner graphs. He does have those elements of the grids in the background. He's matched the alpha, and okay, this is really close. He has the labels. He just needs to make that a y-axis or some sort of element that annotates to a right, and he might have one of the closest here. Even okay, and he did it. Look, he now has all those labels on the right. He still needs the colors though. The last thing he needs to add are colors here. I really didn't know if it was going to come together for Marshall, and he right at the end here, he's really pushing through. And here's Isomore, the reverse. He has all the colors, but does he have the elements? It is coming down to it less than 35 seconds, 34 seconds remaining now. Going over to Parker here. Parker's been here since 25 minutes to go, but we have 20 seconds left to go, and he still doesn't have all these other elements. Let's go back over to Marshall. Okay, Marshall's putting in those colors, but is it too little too late? Isomore still trying to hard code in. Look at this. He's trying to command left arrow, command right arrow. It's not enough commands. It's pencils down now. Oh my god. So where are we voting, chat? Last vote of the night, y'all. Team tie here coming in. I already have my order, so they're gonna split the points here. First place would get 10, second place would get 6. Now, they're both gonna get 8. My thought on this, y'all, is what was closest to this in terms of data and ordering? Could you get this color order, this country order at the end correct? I don't know if anyone got close. I don't even know if anyone actually got Norway correct. Like, I would assume this is Norway, but Isomore ends up being the closest. Like, this is hard for me to go through. I'm going Isomore, Marshall, Parker here, okay? Okay, so that's 18 to 14 Let's see image comparison, okay? Let's set it for Parker first. Let's take a look. 14.47% similarity. Parker might sneak up to second, maybe. Who knows? Let's see. Next would be Marshall. 22.35. Marshall has 14 points. Isomore has 18. If Marshall wins, in terms of accuracy here, Marshall would win this round. You need to beat 22.35. Does Isomore beat 22.35? Slim chance? Oh my god! Isomore still wins though. Oh my god. Because Parker and Isomore were just off by a percentage. So Marshall ends up getting 19 points. Isomore gets 21 points, and Parker has 5. But yeah, y'all, holy F. Thanks for everyone coming out tonight. This was crazy. With the hotel connection, I didn't know if this was actually gonna be viable. I didn't know how many people were actually gonna be interested in just Data Viz as a game show. But yeah, y'all are blowing me away. Again, I can't thank y'all enough for you guys coming in and truly supporting another game show from us, you know? Our winners tonight, we have Tony, we have D-Rob, we have Isomore. They'll all be getting $20 gift certificates to Amazon. I do appreciate everyone hanging out here, and I hope to see y'all not just next Tuesday. I hope I see y'all tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, everyone, claps in the chat, pogs in the chat. Good night, chat. Good night.